Good morning. Well, it's morning for me. It's still morning here. I'm up rather late today. I'm looking at my clock on the wall over there. So this video may be coming out a little bit later today. I'll explain that in just a moment. But we do not need you, heater. My heater just came on. Let me get that turned off. Okay, I turned it down, so it should go off by itself. You may be hearing it though. And Cerb's is over there debating which bone to chew on right now. He's like, well, okay, we're doing this, we're doing that again. We're doing that whole talking thing again. I don't feel all that great again this morning. All of this stuff is kind of in my head again this morning. It's not like it was, but I do have a slight headache, so I've taken some medications and we'll see how it goes. I have a lot to do today. So we're not going to talk about all that. We are just going to move on and eventually it will stop. Now he's flubbering. I hope he doesn't hit the camera. Colorado coffee cup. I've got my decaf coffee and I've got my creamer in it today. I couldn't handle no creamer this morning. I just needed creamer. Oh, it's very good though. Okay. This one is another Van Hout. And this is vanilla and hazelnut. So my vanilla creamer worked perfectly with it. Van Hout. Vanilla hazelnut. Very good. Very good stuff. These have all, I've been so surprised again that these have all been so smooth tasting. There's only been one that was a little bit, just a little bit strong, but once it cooled down, it was good. Okay, so not a lot of storytelling today. Today we need to pick another color. And I've got you back a little bit farther today because I want to show you what the poncho looks like. I'm not going to put it on. I will just drape it over me. The bag I am using is by Naughty Knitting Sacks. It's got all the conversation hearts on it. I'll read some of them for you. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can't read them for you. Oh my goodness. Crazy for you. Yep. You're so sexy. Love. The other ones I can't really read. So anyway, there's my bag, and this is the bag Mr. Fiber picked out. And for those of you that are just joining me, I know I have some new subscribers, and I am so very thankful for shout outs that I have gotten recently. I've had several people shout me out recently. I've been able to go and make the rounds to go to a few other channels this week. Mainly because taking steroids for the sinus infection has caused me to be awake at night. And so I'm going and catching up on stuff. I don't know what's going to happen once that's done, because I don't know if I'll be able to keep going and watching everybody. I will try. But because I participated in a few lives and stuff like that, I was able to talk to some of my podcaster friends and people in the chat, and I got shouted out a couple times, and so I've got new people. So hello to you all, and I appreciate you all for being here. I appreciate every single one of my 3,246 subscribers as of this morning. Amazing. Amazing. But you're all friends. You're all friends. Okay. The poncho I'm doing if you're new, is I'm calling this the Month of Love Poncho. My husband, we call him Mr. Fiber, he chose the bag for me to put my project in, and I asked him to pick yarns for me. So he picked 15 different yarns, and I said, okay, now what do you think I should make with it? And he said, why don't you start with a circle and make a poncho? So make a circle and go out. And I said, okay. And he said, do 7 rows with each color. So those were my parameters, and I put all of them in a bag. All of the colors he picked went in this bag, which you can get in my spring shop. That's down below. When we first did, they did not all fit in here. I had stuff you could see on top. But anyway, there's the bag, and I'm gonna pull another one out of there. And as I finish with one, then I pick another one, and we keep going. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, we're right there. We are right there. Here's how it's looking right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors. Yes, we have 7 colors so far. And some of the colors have now gone more than 1 day, because it's now that it's so big around the bottom, it takes a little bit longer to do those. So yeah, so that's how it's looking. Here is how that other color came out. That is the Sesame by Barocco. Now what I did on this one, I did a double crochet row to start, and then I did a V-stitch, kind of. What I mean by that is this was a V-stitch without an increase. So I didn't want it to fan out again and be really, I don't need any more ruffle at the bottom. So I did a skip, double crochet twice with no single in between. Skip, 2 double crochets, skip, 2 double crochets. So it looks like a V-stitch, however, there's no chain 1 in between on the V. And with that, it doesn't fan out and increase. And then I went back and did a regular, and then I did it again, and then a regular. So I wound up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 rows out of that one. So now we're ready to pick another one. We're ready to pick another one, bud. Whoa. Oh, that's different. Let's turn my little light off over here. Okay. Oh. Oh, this feels good. I have not, this is a new one from Yarn Bee that I have not tried yet, okay? This is called Simply Flawless. It's 301 yards, 5 ounces. The color is called Sunwashed Riviera. %, low pill acrylic. Nice. Now this is a little more expensive brand for the line for them at Hobby Lobby. This normally runs $7.49. I did get this at 30% off, but this is a little bit more expensive. This is their low pill, anti-pill stuff. Simply Flawless. We picked a bone. Cerberus is he's my bud, and he is our mascot here. And whenever Mom talks, he has to get his bone out. Okay. Awesome. Ooh, look at there. Nope, that's the outside. Man, I thought that was going to be the... center pole on that one. How are you guys doing today? How was your weekend? I had a fantastic weekend. I really did. Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. Look at... There's one little... That was a little end right there. Wow, these pull great. I'm going to like this line. I am going to like that. All right. And if I didn't say, the bag is by Naughty Knitting Sacks. Okay. So I'm just going to talk for a few minutes. I don't have a whole lot of stories today because I'm not feeling all that great. But I did want to say thank you to those of you who visited with me yesterday on my live. We had a good live. It was a lot of fun. Yesterday was the Super Bowl, and I wasn't sure anybody would come, and they did. So that was awesome. I am using an eye hook for this, which is a 5.5 millimeter. And I have my air on. Let me push this over a little bit because I've been running hot, cold, hot, cold. And this is hot. In your lap, this is hot. Okay, so for those of you yesterday who purchased yarn from me, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. I have had a big bucket of yarn that I have been sitting here without being able. I had it on my website to sell it at one point, and I no longer have my website set up to sell anything. It's a blog and a just, you know, I have patterns there, free patterns. This one behind me, that's on my website. You can go download that. That's my Willow Arches shawl. It is crochet. I have a knit hat pattern that it's a beanie pattern. And it is a free pattern on my website that you can go and download for free. And I have lots of other free patterns there. I have tutorials for all of them here on my channel. And at one point I had yarn listed on my website. And it got very expensive to run the website where I paid for the ability to you have to have a cart so that when people buy something that they can put the stuff in their cart, and then the cart automatically adds everything up, and you have to pay for the ability to do that. And it's kind of expensive to be on that level of the website. So I dropped it down, took all of that off of there, and I've been sitting and I've had this yarn. Well, yesterday I put it on my live, at the end of my live yesterday. So if you want to go and see what I have left, you can go watch yesterday's live and you'll see everything I have. have some absolutely beautiful colors. These colors were all done for me by hand dyers. I have one line that is Crafty Performers, Amber, that did yarn for me, and I have a bunch of that left, and you can go over and see that. Those are $20 each. And then I have some with no label, and those are $10 each. So just go check that out. And then if you want something, just email me and let me know what you want. And I'll let you know what I have left. So we did that, and I have all of that lined out back in the back, and that way I can, I've got it all situated, and because I couldn't sleep last night. So I put it all together. I made sure everybody, all of their yarn was together, and then I have the little goodies that I'm putting in with it, and it's all ready to go. I just need to package it and then get to the post office. And I don't know if I will get that done today. The way that I'm feeling, I just don't know. I just don't feel all that great. And this head, the way it's feeling is making me a little bit woozy. So until that kind of goes away, you know. So we'll see. Because my post office, y'all, I live in West Texas, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. And our post office is one of those rural post offices. So it's only open till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's only open Monday through Friday. Now, my mail runs on Saturday. The mailman runs Saturday, but the post office isn't open. So if I don't get everything to the post office by 4 o'clock, then it will run tomorrow. So most likely everything's going out tomorrow. So I may wind up laying back down and going back to sleep. Because this not sleeping thing is for the birds. Okay, stories. What stories have I got? I think since we talked about Cerbs, I really think I wanted to tell you, today I'm going to tell you how I got Cerbs, and then we're going to go. So I have another dog, and his name is Duke, and I call him the outside guy, and Cerberus, we call him the inside guy. We call him a lot of things. Both of them you know how your dogs are. And so my daughter Carrie had a friend, and that friend was at the dog park, and this dog was tied with a leash to the fence at the dog park, and nobody was coming back for this dog. So she took this dog home, and that's Duke. And he is a Great Pyrenees mix. He has a little bit of lab in him, which makes him just a teeny bit playful, but not a whole lot. And he's been very, very shy. He's been very he's always been laid back. But he's not really come out of himself for a long time. But he is just a sweetheart. Now, we got him. He's a big lover, is what he is. But he's the outside guy. He's out there to keep the varmint away from the house and to protect the cats, because the cats keep the mice away. And he watches over the horses and the cows and all of that stuff. So he's got a job out there. And then at the time that we got Duke, we had another dog, and her name was Eridan. And I had to put her down because she got old. She was also Great Pyrenees and Lab, but she was pretty much half and half. The best dog ever. We'll talk about Eridan again another time. Well, after I had to put Eridan down, it was just really hard. And at this time, I was here full time by myself. Mr. Fiber was working, and I really wanted to have another dog, and I really wanted a dog for a mascot here in the she shed and to keep me company through the day. I wanted a smaller dog, just telling you. But my daughter again had a friend, and this friend had 2 dogs already and a cat, and they lived at one apartment, and in their apartment area behind them was Cerberus, and another dog was over there. And they had a policeman in the area who was checking, you know, knew all the dogs in the area, knew the people in the area. Well, Cerberus and somebody else, you know, the other dog he was with, were in the backyard behind my daughter's friend, and they were barking and running the fence and all of that, but there was no people. The people had moved, so they had left them behind. And the police officer had been going and checking on them, and he said, yeah, there's nobody there. And he'd been giving them water and stuff, and he said, I don't know what, you know, to do. And he had, you know, they somehow had a conversation over the fence or whatever, and he said, do you want these dogs? And they said they would take one. They decided to take Cerberus. So they took him home. They got him spayed. You know, I don't know what all, because when I got him, he'd been neutered, not spayed. He'd been neutered. He had all of his shots. They did all of that before I got him. And they were going to keep him. However, they moved from that complex to a different one. And where they moved, they had one too many animals for that place. So they had to make the decision as to who they were going to let go. And of course, he was a bigger, you know, bigger than some of the others. So I don't know what their decision was, how they made their decision, but they decided that he needed to go. And when I found out and saw the pictures of him and all of that stuff, it was like, okay, I think that's the one. So I went to go and get him, and I wouldn't take for him. He's a big boy. He's a big chunky boy. I love him, but he is all there, let me tell you. And lately he thinks he's a lap dog. He wants to get up here on my stool and be a lap dog. He's really something. Okay, you guys, I am just not feeling very good. I'm going to have to go. So, thank you for joining me today. I'll keep you updated on this color. We will talk more hopefully tomorrow. But I wanted to make sure and get this out to you. And and say hello to my new subscribers and say thank you to all of you. Everybody, have fun today, and I'll see you later.